Fistful metal. Very, very young. Didn't know what to expect. We had no experience really in the studio, so we listened. And after that record, we never listened anymore. We felt we know what to do at this point, and that was it. That was our first record, and then that record made a big impression on us. And it shows. And then
Spreading the Disease.
by the time Spreading the Disease came about, we were a different band. We're way different, and started writing some really good songs. I thought, that album has a lot of diversity on it. And the last song that was written was AIR, and I went home from the studio, and I remember thinking that the record just wasn't finished in my mind. And I had this one song with the title AIR, and I sent the tape up to Scott, who was up in Ithaca, and I think Frankie was there too. And they learned it, and then I came back up and we recorded that song. And everybody added everything to it, and then it became the first song on the album. And that to me was pretty much the next thing where we were going to, because after that, from that song, went on to do Among the Living, and then it became more of a real thrash metal type of thing, So Among the Living was a great thing to do, because I remember thinking, I want to have Eddie Kramer do Among the Living, because I love Eddie Kramer's sound on Zeppelin and Kiss, So he did it, so happy with that, and I think that's one of the best records we've ever done. And at that time, there was no stopping Anthrax. Everywhere you looked, Anthrax, everywhere. And it was starting to explode for us, and I don't know, man, it didn't really change us that much. We were just living it, and that was it, that's what we were doing. And I enjoyed making that record.
And then State of Oil?
Yeah, that's the record that I always felt we never properly finished that record. I wish we had some more time with it to finish it. Not musically as much as vocally and lyrically. I felt there was a rush to finish that record. And there's some good things on it, and there's some things I felt that needed more work. And that's what it was, I just didn't have the time to finish it. And then the next album, Persistence of Time, we took longer to make sure that we were happy with the whole process. And I like that record a lot. There's different moments on it. It's a more darker record than any of the other records. Just stuff that we were experiencing, and I think it shows in the record and in the songs, And I like that record. I like the cover especially. Very Salvatore Dali. I was into Salvatore Dali big time on that record.
Yeah, I think it's one of my favorites Anthrax records.
Yeah.
And then the first one with John.
Well, no, after that was a Killer Bees.
Yeah,
Which of course had the Public Enemy track, which was did very well for us. The only problem with that, it was just too early, before its time.
Yeah.
People weren't ready for it. And what are you gonna do, And of course, I'm the Man was the same thing. People weren't ready for it.
But you did this tour with Public Enemy. When I speak to older people, they have all great memories with this tour. You share Anthrax.
That was good.
Yeah.
We played the Zenith.
Yeah, I think in Paris. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
and
a good
told
one.
me the crowd was very rock together.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good tour, man. We had a good time on that whole thing.
Until then, the Son of White Noise.
Son of White Noise, yeah. That was when everything changed. My writing changed completely. I was writing with John Bush's voice now, and wanted to be more of a groove rather than a thrash metal thing. I felt I closed the book on the thrash metal, and now I wanted to write a different type of song. This is great, that album. The first song we did was Only.
Yeah.
And it was like, that was the song, that was the test song. Same as,
Like James Hetfield said, he says it's the perfect song.
yeah, perfect song. And
I think he's right.
James would always tell me with the last album, Safe Home, he listens to it every morning. Like he gets up and listens to that song every morning. I felt pretty happy with that. I was like, thanks, bro, that's cool. But yeah, Sound White Noise was it was like a watershed moment. And I like it. There's a lot of good songs on that record.
Yeah, and then the Stomp, which is good.
Stomp, it's good, but it's not. It was really hard to make that record. It was very, very difficult to make that record because we went with these producers who really didn't know the record that we wanted to make, and we had to work hard on that record because we had to make them see and hear how it should be. They had no clue. They had no clue, which made that record take a long time to make. There's songs in that record that are good, but I think it could have been better. Just in my mind, I think it could have been better.
The sound is very good, I think, on the track. It's very up to date, even today. You know?
Yeah, I think it's. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then maybe the most underrated, but one of my favorites, Anthrax Record Volume 8.
Oh yeah, it's a good album. Some of my favorite songs are on that record. I love that. I love it. There's a song called Catharsis, which is the second song.
Yeah.
It's great, great song. Yeah, I love that record. Everything was good on that record. Which, if it wasn't for that record, there wouldn't have been a We Come For You All.
Yeah.
Because of that, it got you to there. And that's what pretty much records are, just stepping stones to get you to that point. Like if you listen to Led Zeppelin, like Led Zeppelin 3 had to happen because if it wasn't for that, then Led Zeppelin 4, the music on there wouldn't have happened. And you see it, you see the growth.
Yeah.
And that's the way it is with Volume 8 and We Come For You All. We Come For You All is probably my favorite one of all of our records with John.